Welcome back to the studio. Apparently the future governor of Texas, Mr. Chad Prather, host of the Chad Prather Show right here on BlazeTV. Chad, thanks for coming by.
I like the optimism.
Yeah.
I love the optimism.
We're diving right in.
Look at this. I've taken lazy to a whole new, I've hit the default button on my apathy.
Yeah.
Right there. I've gone right back to it. I got dressed up for the show. Mm-hmm. I always feel like I need to dress down when I'm around you and Glenn. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, I'm a glutton for punishment.
Yeah.
Do you know, as soon as I announced that I was going to run for governor, people went crazy. They jumped on it and they went nuts. And people were like, why are you doing this? And I said, because Greg Abbott has never been opposed by anybody on the right. His entire political career in Texas, he's never really been opposed by anybody on the right. And I'm not convinced the guy is really, truly a conservative. I think he's bought out by big business, and I could get into a lot of other accusations that are there that might land me in court, but I don't want to do that. Yeah. I just think that somebody's got to get out there and stir the conversation.
So when I talk to you about this, I feel like, I can't tell if I'm talking to like Donald Trump in 2014. Right? Like, I can't quite tell if you're serious, but I'm not convinced you're not serious.
No, I'm in it.
What does that mean,
I spent the day talking with political consultants yesterday. We're still at a point where we filed with the state.
You did?
Yeah.
So you were like an official candidate for governor.
I am now recognized by the state. I am under their watchful eye.
Is that like an exploratory committee? How does that work?
No, you don't have to do that in Texas.
Okay.
You don't have to have an exploratory committee, but you do have to register with the state. You have to declare with the state. You have to file documents. It's basically you got to make sure that everything is on the up and up.
Sure.
So we're in the dotting the I's, crossing the T's place, because I don't know what in the hell I'm doing. Stu. I mean, I don't know what in the hell I'm doing.
This is a good slogan for your campaign.
This is, vote for me. A vote for Chad Prather is a vote for mystery.
Yeah.
But I love the state of Texas. I'm pissed off. People say, you know, whether it's a mask mandate or whatever, I just want to unmandate the state. Mm-hmm. I really want to unmandate the state. I think that, people kept telling me, they were like, Texas needs to be more like South Dakota. And yes, Kristi Noem has done a good job as governor of South Dakota. But this is Texas. I don't want to be like anybody but Texas is not the Texas that most Texans think it is anymore. So, I mean, South Dakota doesn't have its own toast. We in Texas have a toast. We have waffle irons in the shape of our state. We wear bikinis. Well, I don't, but the girls wear bikinis in the colors of our flag.
Right.
This is Texas, and I want us to be able to kind of have that humble arrogance again, walk tall and be bigger than we are, and I just don't feel like we are at this stage in the game. So yeah, I'm serious about it.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm a comedian. I'm a humorist. I make a living doing this. I have to continue making a living doing those things in the meantime.
Right.
And a lot of people are having a hard time reconciling that. Because as soon as you make that announcement, people say, it's time for you to get political. It's time for you to act serious about this. And I say, well, yes and no, because there's a lot of politicians out there who are pretty serious. They've never done really anything for us.
Right.
So if that's the criteria, is let's get serious, then I think we are putting the wrong categories together in terms of how we judge our political candidates.
Right. Yeah. I mean, so isn't... this is a dumb question.
There's no dumb questions, Stu.
Okay. Isn't there like lots of like financial requirements and all sorts of crap you got to keep up with compliance-wise to do this? I mean, is it, if you're not serious, it's not worth the effort to go this far, right?
No. Well, first of all, if you're not serious, there's a lot of pitfalls and pratfalls that are there, and a lot of stuff can bite you in the ass, quite honestly, if you're not serious about it. Why would you make yourself a glutton for punishment and put yourself out there for that kind of scrutiny? People keep saying, oh, you got skeletons in your closet. And I'm like, we burned this closet down a long time ago. The bones are out in the yard. I mean, they're all hanging out there. I've sort of lived a rock star life for a long time, and I've enjoyed it. But at the end of the day, I can get serious, and we are serious. We spent the day yesterday talking to political consultants, people who are just kind of guiding us and helping us and making sure that we're doing the right things. One of our web developers popped up a donation site too early, and we had to immediately pull that thing down because people were sending $5, $10 here and there.
Yeah.
And I said, no, we're not ready yet, because we had filed with the state, but we didn't get the approval back from the state. And there's little things like, technically, once you've filed with the state, even if they haven't stamped it, you filed. I mean, it's there. You've sent it in. But you still want to be careful.
Yeah, it makes me, that whole world makes me nervous.
It does, man. You got to put disclaimers on everything. Paid for Chad Prather for governor.
Right.
You got to have the copyright stuff on everything. You have to dot. I'm in the apparel business, right? We sell T-shirts for a living, and it's one of my businesses, and it's a big business. We have our Prather for governor stuff that's out there. Now we have to change the nature of that, because if we put any of that stuff up there, you're not buying a T-shirt, at least a campaign T-shirt. You're donating to the campaign, and we'll send you a shirt.
Right.
It's that kind of stuff that it's a little bit hokey, it's a little bit weird. I hate that level of bureaucracy exists, but it does.
But it does.
It does.
Texas had Kinky Friedman famously run for governor and actually did pretty well. I mean, I don't remember what he did percentage-wise, but it was significant.
Well, the thing that was kind of funny about Kinky, his famous quote was, "Well, how hard can it be?"
That's a great slogan.
And so I try to say I'm a little more serious than Kinky and less crazy than Jesse Ventura.
Okay.
Right?
You're right in that sweet spot.
Yeah, right there in that. At the end of the day, I do love this state, and I think that there's some things that need to happen in this state that at least need to be brought up for conversation. There's things that I believe in, like take an issue, constitutional carry. There's 17 states in America, maybe 18 states in America that have constitutional carry. You would think that Texas, of all places, would reduce the requirements on what it takes to carry a gun in this state. Oklahoma does it, for crying out loud. You would think Texas would do things like that. There's issues, I think, that are out there that the conversation needs to be. We talk about Texas. Some people kind of take that as a joke, or even, how dare you treasonous person to talk about it. But Kyle Biederman, State Rep Kyle Biederman, he's introduced a bill for Texas, which basically is not saying we need to secede from the union, but we need to have that. We need to be able to have that right to be able to say that we can go back to be our own republic, and give it to the people of Texas to vote on it, and let if the House resolution's on the floor, let the people of Texas vote for it, and then say, okay, that's one thing that we can use as a leveraging point to say, we could go back to being our own little deal here.
Right.
And it leverages against the federal government, especially when you see what's going on with Joe Biden and this administration and this world of executive orders we're living in.